of the sand and sea, land of the coconut tree. I love me sweet Belize, sweet Belize, land of the isles and keys, land of the barrier reef. I love me sweet Belize. If I ever had to leave Belize, if I ever had to leave Belize, where would I go? Where would I go? Where would I spread my bed? Where would I lay my head? Nobody know, nobody know. If I ever had to leave me home, no other place I ever roam could be like Belize, be like Belize. Sweet Belize, land of the sand and sea, land of the coconut tree. I love me sweet Belize, sweet Belize, land of the isles and keys, land of the barrier reef. I love me sweet Belize. Creole and Garifuna.
Good morning. Ready. So this morning we're going to look at a passage of scripture from the book of Romans chapter 12. And so they're telling us about giving living sacrifices, our body as living sacrifice. And then it says here in verse 12, chapter 12, verse 1, it says, therefore, I urge you, brothers, in view of God's mercy, all the things that God has done for us, He's doing His best to get you to understand here that you do things that are in line with the will of God. That is what is important. Thinking about the mercy of God, the love of God. So it says, in view of God's mercy, that we know God's mercy, said to offer your bodies as living sacrifices, holy and pleasing to God. You know, we should be happy to go in front of God, speak on behalf of God, go and tell people about God, and to do things that are in line with salvation for ourselves and for those people out there. It says, holy and pleasing to God. We need to define what holy is and what pleasing to God is. And of course, it is devoid of sin. That's what they talk about holy. Holy is living a life that is not, we know many people want to redefine sin, especially one that is active in their lives.
Grandpa.
Yes, ma'am.
What is me?
Especially the sin that the person is practicing, they don't want that to be considered as sin. No matter how many people you have in your family who are homosexual, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that you're a homosexual. That you want to change the word of God and you want to make unholy things or unrighteous things righteous and holy. We cannot do that. The Bible is telling us here that we're supposed to do things that are holy and pleasing to God. That's what it is saying. Not only for individuals, but as a nation. As a nation. So this is your spiritual act of worship. This is how we worship God, by the way we secure, the way we protect ourselves from unholy things. That is how we do that. It says, do not conform any longer to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your minds. It's a famous verse. People remember this all the time. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. You see, you can't be doing old things. You can't be trying to retool God. You can't be telling people, oh, well, the God at this. I know I've heard people say that. Right? People say that. When you challenge them on certain things, then they come and try to redefine who God is. God is the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind with God. And look at the book of Micah that we are studying. And in chapter 6, they're just so powerful. God is saying, you want me to overlook the wrongs that you're doing? So that won't happen. The unfair skills that you're using, you'd have to pay for it. The stealing, the violence, and all those things that you do to take things from people that you're not supposed to, I will deal with it. When you try to hide, that when I put up against you my judgment, I will come at it with violence. And those things are very, very clear. But positive, what God says, renew your mind. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Be transformed by the renewing. And don't conform any longer to this world. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is. His good will, pleasing and perfect will. then you will see, because the hands of God, people don't understand. Us who teach the word of God and people who live by the word of God are blessed. So the Bible has a thing in here and says that as you people continue to teach you and you fall in line, that you're supposed to share your blessing with them. Because it's telling you you're going to be blessed. You're going to be blessed. I am a blessed man. I'm a blessed man. And when I look at my life now, I could never have envisioned my life like this when I was growing up. My life is much, much different from that. You know, God has truly blessed me, opened doors for me. He provides for me. So as I continue to teach the word of God, and I tell you, I can't wait sometimes when I'm in church to do my part. I can't wait. I want to get to it so badly. I want to teach the word of God. I want to teach people about God. Just as I'm doing here. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your minds. I can remember sometimes when I was teaching at Sacred Heart, I was still a young, wild young man. And I said and did some things that I am so embarrassed about now. I'm so embarrassed. And some of those people, I can't even go back to them and say, hey, you know what? God put some very wonderful older people around me. And because I wasn't a guy who was involved with some things, but I look at everything that I did that wasn't right. And I'm sorry I did those things. My heart is not for that. My heart is for something different now. And I feel like God has transformed me. I'm really and truly happy for the transformation that God has put in my life.
Sweet Belize, land of the sand and sea, land of the coconut tree. I love me sweet Belize. Sweet Belize, land of the islands and keys, land of the barrier reef. I love me sweet Belize. If I ever had to leave Belize, if I ever had to leave Belize, where would I go? Where would I go? Where would I spread my bed? Where would I lay my head? Nobody know. Nobody know. If I ever had to leave my home, no other place I ever roam could be like Belize. Be like Belize. Sweet Belize, land of the sand and sea, land of the coconut tree. I love me sweet Belize. Sweet Belize, land of the islands and keys, land of the barrier reef. I love me sweet Belize. Creole and Garifuna.
B-Box offers Benny's customers the opportunity to earn points on their purchases at any Benny's locations or its entities, such as Best Manufacturing, Benquip, Island Freight Forwarders, Benny's Contractor and Lumberyard, and B-Mart. To learn more, visit our website at www.bbox.bz. Remember, loyalty is always rewarding with B-Box. Brought to you by Benny's, quality and savings.
Hello Bemapan, welcome back to the second segment in this series of the Trade License Act 2024. I'm Councillor Chris Enriquez, and today we'll be discussing your business productive footprint and how it impacts your trade license fee. Let's break it down. Your business's productive footprint is the square footage of the area where your operations are conducted. It excludes common spaces such as agricultural lands, lobbies, restrooms, stairways, parking lots, storerooms, and shared hallways, unless they are used for profit. Your business falls under an economic classification based on your business type. This classification, as well as your zone, will further determine the rate applied to your business.
Hi, I'm Lauren Milton. I'm the Evaluation Manager here at Bemapan City Council. I know a lot of people keep wondering what we're measuring when we visit their business. So let's take a closer look at what productive footprint looks like for the different types of businesses. As you can see, we measure the area used for business purposes only. This includes retail space, dining areas, or workspaces. For example, here's how the productive footprint is calculated for a coffee shop, a supermarket, and an office space, specifically an accounting firm. Let's take a coffee shop for instance. Here we see the kitchen, the bar, and the dining areas as productive space. What's noteworthy here is that a restaurant and an ice cream parlor has similar productive space as a coffee shop. Next, we have a supermarket. For this business, we measure the entire retail floor, including aisles, checkout counters, and display areas. The storerooms and employee break areas are excluded since they are not used to generate direct sales. Lastly, we look at an accounting firm office. The productive footprint here includes the client reception, conference rooms, and workspaces where the business's services are provided. Excluded are areas like break rooms, restrooms, kitchen, and non-operational storage. As you can see, productive footprint is the usable square footage where your business is conducted. This excludes common areas like lobbies, restrooms, and parking spaces, except in cases where these areas are used for profit. Remember, productive footprint looks different for different businesses, so be sure to accurately measure your premise to ensure your fees reflect your footprint. It is important to note that Schedule 8 of the Trade Licensing Act sets fixed trade license fees for specific classifications such as traveling professionals and auto dealers.
Knowing your economic classification and accurately measuring your productive footprint isn't the only factor in your trade license process. You must also consider that there are 4 municipal zones and that your business is located in one of them. Each zone has a different guideline that will affect the rate applied to your trade license fee. As a reminder, the new Trade License Act takes effect on January 1st, 2025. Businesses without a trade license by then are subject to penalties and fees. So we encourage everyone to apply early before the deadline, December 31st, 2024. Stay tuned to our next segment where we will answer your key questions. Thank you for watching, and let's build a prosperous Belmopan together.
Belize City, get ready for a safe and reliable e-taxi experience like never before. Building on the success of our e-ride bus service, we've heard your feedback, Belize City. We've seen your enthusiasm and how eagerly you've embraced zero-emission transportation in our community. Introducing the e-ride taxi, an electric taxi service, bringing you a cleaner, greener way to travel around our beautiful city. As part of the transformative Belize City e-ride program, this new service is another step toward modernizing our transportation system for a sustainable future. Looking to book your first e-ride taxi? It's super easy. First, download the Medriva app and register. Then, book your ride. Insert your pickup and drop-off location. Select e-ride, choose the number of occupants, and pick your preferred payment method. Confirm your ride and track your e-ride in real time as it makes its way to you. It's fast, eco-friendly, and designed for your comfort. So don't wait. Download Medriva today and let's drive Belize City towards a brighter, greener future, one e-ride at a time. Your Belize City Council, always about the people.
Pletz Home Builders is the largest house building company in Belize. Pletz combines the best skilled workers, high-grade materials, and the latest technology to produce the highest quality wooden residential structures. Request any size, color, and the home layout you want. Choose from hardwood or painted metal outer walls. Pletz can modify any of their existing house plans to your satisfaction, complete with all the installation services you need anywhere in the country, including ambergris key. They can also lift your house to your desired height up to 9 feet. From properly treated and cured lumber to quality sidings and floorings, let Pletz Home Builders give your home the finish you need. For prices or questions, call 823-0398 or go to www.pletzhomebuilders.com. Pletz Home Builders, we build to suit your needs.
Every project starts with the right tools. At Builders Hardware, we got everything to get the job moving. Tools, paint, plumbing, electrical, garden, it's all here from construction start to finish. We're also offering a different kind of power tool. Order anytime, anywhere. Pick up in store or get it delivered to your home. Go to shopbuildersbz.com today and save money with our exclusive online deals. Builders Hardware, making it easier.
I really thanks and appreciate all those who are concerned and let it happen.
I feel excitement, happy. I'm glad I have a new home. It's make a big difference in our life. Really, really big difference. It's like you say you want to start something and you know you cannot finish, but this right here, it's a big, big difference.
This new home is very important and special to me. It's a starting point for a better future and a secure environment for my little family.
Yo me siento pues muy orgullosa pues de que ya tengo mi casa y pues no tenía pues en dónde quedar y pues aquí está ya tengo en dónde estar con ella, con mi hija.
This is not just a home, but it's a fighting chance for both of them. Housing is very, very important. It's a backbone of every household. If you don't have shelter, you will have a very stressful life. You won't be able to concentrate on your other goals. So it's very crucial. I think the government up to now is doing a very wonderful job investing in this sector of society. And I do hope that it will continue that way or even more.
Attention Belmopan residents, this is an important reminder regarding the proper disposal of debris in our community. As per Statutory Instrument Number 122 of 2005, Section 10, Subsection B, residents are strictly prohibited from placing debris on the buffers. Violating this regulation is considered a ticketable littering offense. Residents are encouraged to use private contractors or contact the Belmopan City Council to make arrangements for debris disposal. If you need assistance with debris disposal, please contact the Sanitation Department at 822-2271, extension 2019. This message is brought to you by the Belmopan City Council. Let's work together to keep our beautiful city clean and safe. Thank you for your cooperation.
City residents, civic pride is all our responsibility. It's about taking ownership of our city and embracing its beauty. But amidst this beauty lies a growing concern: the continuous destruction of city property. And a part of civic pride is taking care of public property. Therefore, the Belize City Council takes this time to remind city residents that these acts are not just vandalism. They are crimes against rights to property and criminal damage to property. Under Chapter 101 of the Criminal Code, within the substantive laws of Belize, a person who, without lawful excuse, destroys or damages any property belonging to another, intending to destroy or damage such property, or being reckless, shall be guilty of a crime. Upon conviction, a person can face up to 1 year imprisonment. We must all do our part to safeguard what belongs to all of us, what belongs to our city. Together, we can make a difference. This is our city. Let's respect it. Your Belize City Council, always about the people.
Sweet Belize, land of the sand and sea, land of the coconut tree. I love me sweet Belize. Sweet Belize, land of the islands and keys, land of the barrier reef. I love me sweet Belize. If I ever had to leave Belize, if I ever had to leave Belize, where would I go?
This Friday morning edition, the 4th of July, and if you're celebrating birthday today, the 4th of July, I want to make sure I tell President Trump to throw off a big fireworks for you today, because it's a special day and you should celebrate the day that you were born, the 4th of July. It is a blessed Friday morning, it's weekend, and everybody looking forward to wrap this week up and have a whatever exciting weekend that you may hope to have with, of course, with care and much protection. We're a full house today, and so we want to get right on some very important discussion this morning, because as usual, you know, Rise and Shine here, we always want to bring some of the best information to you and the right news, and no like where Mr. Trump would have said fake news. We want to bring right news and truthful news, right? So from us here, we welcome you this morning to Rise and Shine. I'm Santi Valencia, covering for Brother Fem Cruz. Brother Fem this morning, he leave it, under the weather and stuff, but we will make it run. We have a full house, like it says. We want to start this morning first, which is very important, is dealing with health issues. So people from the north to the south, the east to the west of this beautiful jewel of ours, you need to check what's happening and listen to what we have to discuss. Starting off this program this morning, Friday morning, it's talking about your health. And we have no other good person to throw this down right here with me, Mr. Marfield, the man dealing with the health issues and how we can have a healthier Belize. Good morning, Mr. Marfield.
Good morning, Brother Sankey. It's a pleasure and privilege again to be here with you guys in the studio. We were here about a month ago, and we promised that we would have been back to speak a little bit more on health issues affecting Belize, particularly in my field as the still current president for Belmopan for the Diabetes Association, focusing on diabetes. And we want to talk on something that we probably have never elaborated on in the studio. And we have done many shows. I remember with Pastor Wade, we used to do a monthly diabetes show back in the days. But we want to talk about insulin resistance. And I think it's very important we understand this topic, because it might be very well the culprit why we are having so much diabetes issue in Belize, insulin resistance. And so what is insulin resistance? I think the name speaks for itself. I have a little model with us today.
Yes.
So I think pictures makes an impression. So
Absolutely.
we have all of these organs, but here is the stomach, and behind the stomach there is an organ called what we know in Belize as the sweet gland, or the sweet organ, and that is the pancreas. And the function of the pancreas, one of the functions definitely is to produce insulin. And insulin will get a phone call whenever we eat any kind of carbs, rice, sugar, breads, anything that is carbs laden. Immediately there is a telephone call to our pancreas, and the function of that pancreas is to produce insulin. And what insulin will do, insulin is like a key to the door of the cells. It goes and it begins to open the, you know, if I had said Brother Santi had to come on PlusTV, you know, Brother Santi comes early and open up the door. Correct. So all the, you know, technician and everybody, we are accessible to this room. And that is what the insulin does. He is the guy that will open the door so that the sugar can go into the cell. When we have insulin resistance, it prevents that process, Brother Santi and my good listeners. Because what is happening at the cellular level, there is issues with lipotoxins and a number of things, fat accumulation that prevents this key, this God-given key that he gives to man in the pancreas, insulin, to open the door. So I have the key, which is not the problem, at least with type 2 diabetics, and it's trying to open up this door, but it can't. And when that happens, then the sugar remains outside. So you have a packed house this morning, they said. Imagine all of us waiting outside, can't get into the studio. Right. That is what insulin resistance is all about. And it's something that we are seeing very popular in Belize. Now, I gave the technician some slides, and maybe he can show some of them to emphasize some of the ways how insulin affects the body. So I had here, if you are having insulin resistance, you're going to start to have blurry vision, you're going to start to have increased thirst, you're going to start to have a lot of urination, you'll start to see dark patches appearing on your skin as is seen on the screen, you're going to have a spike in your sugar level, which we call hypoglycemia, increased hunger, you start to have tingling in your feet and hand. All of these are suggested symptoms that the body is not metabolizing the sugar properly. And these symptoms gets you fatigued, like I said, you get hungry, and you begin to have weight gain, you have difficulty losing the weight. You start to have high blood pressure, low HDL, which are the good cholesterol, which you don't want to be low, you want to have it high, and fasting glucose level, triglyceride levels being elevated. And these are the problems that we begin to have when we have insulin resistance. So this morning I wanted, here is just another, different website I went on. Some have more additional information, like you notice even here, last acne, and that's the vicious cycle, right? You see the person eat food, the body makes the insulin, the cell resists the insulin, and then what happens? You have that sugar increase. We are also having a health fair in that next slide that was shown just now that will be dealing with some consultation for Roaring Creek, especially and the surrounding villages, and Belmopan, the capital, this coming Sunday, by the way, at Body and Soul Clinic in there in Roaring Creek, from 1 to in another world.
Yes, at the other world.
Yes, sir. And these are some of the information we want to share with the public, because I think if you think knowledge is expensive, you try ignorance.
What?
And if you think health is expensive, you try sickness. So we want to educate, educate, educate.
And I appreciate that, because this is truth.
Yes.
While we say ignorance, we that believes we used to use ignorance as when somebody
they kind of don't say.
No. We used to use as they are aggressive.
Right.
They get angry.
Yes.
Why that person only ignorant? Because they blare up quick, they get vexed quick or so. No, that's not ignorant.
Lack of knowledge.
That's lack of knowledge, right? Lack of knowledge. Ignorance means you lack of knowledge of your health.
Right.
And so you need to know, because I think it's very important, because if people know what exactly they kill them, hopefully they take heed.
Right.
Because you get used to certain ways of life.
Right.
And then it's hard for you to turn, you know.
Right.
For example, when we talk about insulin and so, we talk about eating a consumption with food, with diet. Rice, number one. Bread, tortillas, fried jack, Johnny cake.
Right.
Then that way, some would mean.
So we have a very high, what you're saying is that in our culture we have a very high intake of carbs in Belize.
Yeah.
And not that carbs is bad. There are good carbs and bad carbs incidentally. You have what you call refined carbs and you have complex carbs. A lot of the refined carbs is what we more favor because of taste. So the ice cream, the sweet stuff, the pudding, the stuff in the packs. they're appetizing to the appetite and the taste buds. You know, we grew up, they drink condensed milk. I remember when we do oats, man, oats without condensed milk, they're not oats. But the amount of sugar we put in that, there's milk and sugar and
drink a lot of Coca-Cola.
Drink a lot of Coca-Cola and soft drinks, and these things are loaded with sugar. And still, the problem is not the sugar yet. The problem is the insulin resistance. So one of the things I wanted to talk about this morning too is how, you see that the glycemic index of food, how we can make good healthy choices when it comes to food. And the glycemic index of food is just a measure of how, when you consume that particular food, how it will distribute the sugar around the body quickly. The higher the glycemic index, if you notice on the chart there, if it's 70 and above, that is considered a bad food, particularly for a diabetic, because it's going to cause a spike in the sugar level, and a sugar spike is never a good thing for a diabetic, because it can cause coma, it can create a lot of other dysfunction of the body. And then we have those that are in between, which are fairly good for a diabetic or for an average person. So you have a number between 0 to 100, and the lower the number is, the better it is. So if you look on the screen there, you see some food that have very good glycemic index. So for example, like most vegetables only have 15 as their glycemic index. So a lot of vegetables, I always tell the diabetics, are excellent. It's high fiber, it's full in, and it's going to prevent that sugar rush, that sugar spike that we see so often. If you look at grains now and starches, you notice as you're going down the line, your white bread, the oatmeal, potato, these are things that are pretty high in glycemic index. So the more fiber-based you can make the food, you're putting things in the food. If you do rice, do vegetable rice. Right. Or you do brown rice, then it gives it more fiber, so the glycemic spike is not as large. If you go to fruits, some people are concerned, as a diabetic, should I eat fruit since it's sugar? But if you notice on the screen, grapefruit is at 25, apple at 38, oranges at 44, and of course you eat these in moderation. Right. So these things, God have put fiber in it. Isn't God the wise physician? He see what's our body need. That's right. But we end up making things that are packaged differently, because all of God's food are packaged in a skin, you know. He got you one plastic, you come packaged already. But we create synthetic things. And they come with their own problem. You know, I was watching an ad the other day. You know, they have synthetic rice made in China, synthetic fish. We create things that were never designed for this. Yes. Could you imagine you running a Toyota car and you are told that it needs this kind of filter, but you're going to get the filter of a Mitsubishi and try to fit it in a Toyota? It doesn't work. Buy the cheapest oil. Or buy the cheapest oil. Yeah. You understand, Miss? Put it in your product. Yeah, for this body to function properly, we got to give it the food that the designer intended for it. Right. And that is just the logistics of eating. Yes. If you can understand what is the best food for your body, and I know there's economic implication, I understand that. I think it's even more important that you eat healthy, because if the economic of the society and the countries are getting worse, and with more war, this will only increase. We see gas will go up very shortly again. War creates an economic spike, just like sugar level. And it's going to affect the country, just like how sugar affects the body. And if we don't manage our money and spend it wisely and budget properly and invest in a most appropriate way, we are going to find ourselves in financial crisis. That's right. Same thing with the body, Brother Sante, with the sugar level. So making a comparison there. So I think if we eat as simple yet as healthy, I think we'll see a decrease. When I was in the States, we used to reverse diabetes. You're not going to hear you're not going to hear this from most doctors' lips. Sure. But the truth is, as a naturopathic doctor, we believe that no disease has to. You don't have to live with that disease. As a child of God, I don't claim a disease. Right. We must rebuke these things in the name of Jesus too. Because that's what he did when he came. The best doctor that exists on this earth was Jesus. Sure. He healed every disease. Sure. Every disease. That's right. So I think he's the same yesterday, today. Absolutely. But some people think that he's our old great grandpa, you know. But we have to change our lifestyle. That's right. When Jesus healed somebody, he said, thy faith have made you well. Then we say, go and sin no more.
That's what
He's
he said to the
suggesting there
woman.
is a root cause for the problem. And our choices, and what is sin? Knowing to do good and do it not.
That's right.
We see sin sometimes, oh, the killer and them, but we could be killing ourselves just by the way we eat.
Or is it one obese person and they got a big bowl of ice cream and they dip up the bowl of ice cream, and before he hit them bowl, he say, I rebuke you calories in Jesus' name, and then they fill themselves with ice cream.
So a lot of it is a mind. A lot of it is the mindset, and we have to change the mindset if we want to see these degenerative diseases decrease. So what we want to do for our general public, I mean, I do this at my office here in Belmopan as long as I'm here, and we are making some changes shortly because we have been having some financial challenges with increased rent, so we might have to relocate from Belmopan. But the truth is, we are going to educate no matter where we are. That's why I love the media, because the media is a powerful tool for education. You can do what we call edutainment, not entertainment, edutainment, where you educate through the multimedia. It's a powerful tool, and I think right now with the multimedia advance, where you have so much things at your disposal, one touch of this and you have a lot of information. There is no reason to stay in ignorance.
That's right.
There's no reason to stay in ignorance. And I always tell my clients when they come to me, yes, you come to seek me as a professional, but you are responsible for your health, not the doctor. I'm here to guide you, to coach you, to encourage you. But you have to take the initiative when you leave from this office and make the conscious decisions and the necessary changes that will encourage the best of health.
Don't want to leave you. Broke down someone because you brought this money, Kenny. I'm sure there is a reason why we brought this.
Right.
You show us certain things. We got some. You have to come back. Go spend one good almost because this is very extremely important.
Very
and so we'll
so
break this down for we quickly, and then also I want you to show that. Hopefully, they got that screen with the 100%, what, the 0 to,
oh yes, right? I think I shared it with the young man.
I think that's very important.
That is the, without one, everything else is 0.
Without one,
everything else is 0. And another one is health. 0 work, 0 money, 0 family, 0 dream. If you don't have health, none of those things will actually be of efficiency and effectiveness. But looking at our structure, we have basically about 4 or 5 major eliminating organs. Our lungs, we have our liver, we have our colon, we have our kidneys, which are hidden in this case it's more to the back. And the largest organ of elimination is your skin. And the good Lord have put these organs for us to function. So we need to sweat properly through the skin. We need to make sure we are not drinking and smoking and doing things that will affect the liver. Because if you have a liver problem, you'll have fibrosis, you'll eventually have cirrhosis, you'll have fatty liver, and fatty liver leads to insulin resistance because all the toxins and fat then is dashed into the cells, clog up where the key can't work.
Right.
So you see how important this is. Again, our lungs, the way we breathe, if we do not breathe properly, then we are going to have this influx of toxins coming into our system. So keeping an environment that is very, feasible for getting good exercise and conducive. So a lot of aerobic exercise is very important. And then also, this very important one, the colon, 5 feet of the eliminating organ. We have ascending, transverse, diverse, sigmoid, colon, rectum, anus. These areas are not to be constipated. What is constipation? Basically, after 8 hours, if you can't use the bathroom. So if you eat food from yesterday morning and haven't used the bathroom as yet, you're already constipated. Because after 8 hours, our body is made with a transit program to eliminate, because every food we eat, some good go into the body and the waste comes out. If it's not coming out, where is it? Stuck up right near the colon.
And that's where the contamination comes in.
And it got backflow and cause insulin resistance.
Man,
you know, it means something. I know time has run
beautiful.
out. We'll come back.
You must come back and we will have one show. So please, our viewers and listeners, we want you to, this is just one preview because Dr. Mahfield will be back and educating us in how we could protect our bodies and keep a healthy body.
So in conclusion there, we just want to invite the general public. We can give you more information. I have myself and 2 medical doctors that will be doing free consultations at the Body and Soul Clinic there in Another World in Roaring Creek this coming Sunday from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. I really encourage you to take consultation fee. Is very expensive at a doctor. You're going to get free consultations. And we want to address not just diabetes, hypertension, and other degenerative diseases that are in the community. So we look forward to see you, and I want to say thank you, Sanki. I hope we did justice with the little time we had.
Yes.
I want to thank the station for allowing me to be here once again.
Anytime, my brother, and I really seriously want you to come back so we could continue, because it is one of the leading killers in this nation, hypertension, sugar diabetes. So we definitely want to see Mr. Marfield back in the house. So we'll take a quick break, and we have more guests, and we'll be right back. Don't go away. Keep it locked on the rock. You're watching Rise and Shine PlusTV.
Sweet Belize, land of the sand and sea, land of the coconut tree. I love me Sweet Belize. Sweet Belize, land of the islands and keys, land of the barrier reef. I love me Sweet Belize. If I ever had to leave Belize, where would I go? Where would I go? Where would I spread my bed? Where would I lay my head? Nobody know. Nobody know. If I ever had to leave my home, no other place I ever roam could be like Belize. Be like Belize. Sweet Belize, land of the sand and sea, land of the coconut tree. I love me Sweet Belize. Sweet Belize, land of the islands and keys, land of the barrier reef. I love me Sweet Belize. Creole and Garifuna, Mestizo and Maya, living in peace.
I really thank and appreciate all those who are concerned and let it happen.
I feel excitement, happy. I'm glad I have a new home. It's make a big difference in our life. Really big difference. It's like you say you want to start something and you know you cannot finish, but this right here is a big difference.
This new home is very important and special to me. It's a starting point for a better future and a secure environment for my little family.
Yo me siento pues muy orgullosa pues de que ya tengo mi casa y pues no tenía pues en dónde quedar y pues aquí está ya tengo en dónde estar con ella, con mi hija.
This is not just a home, but it's a fighting chance for both of them. Housing is very important. It's a backbone of every household. If you don't have shelter, you will have a very stressful life. You won't be able to concentrate on your other goals. So it's very crucial. I think the government up to now is doing a very wonderful job investing in this sector of society. And I do hope that it will continue that way or even more.
Every project starts with the right tools. At Builders Hardware, we got everything to get the job moving. Tools, paint, plumbing, electrical, garden, it's all here from construction start to finish. We're also offering a different kind of power tool. Order anytime, anywhere. Pick up in store or get it delivered to your home. Go to shopbuildersbz.com today and save money with our exclusive online deals. Builders Hardware, making it easier.
Come to Banquet, find your way. Engines roar at the break of day. Volvo outboard surf the waves. Castrol oil is what they crave. Live with power, feel the sound. Heavy machines shake the ground. Riding Honda, feeling proud. Rev it up and shout aloud. Feel the wind against your skin. Now so wide, let's begin. At Banquet, where dreams ignite. Gear up, let's take flight. Kohler's power runs our towns. JCB lifts heavy pounds. Find the tools to build your dreams. Banquet's got the best machines. Grip the wheel and never slip. Feel the rush, it's time to trip. Every brand you know and love. Banquet fits you like a glove. Feel the wind against your skins. Now so wide, let's begin. At Banquet, where dreams ignite. Gear up, let's take flight.
Banquet, equipment, parts, service. We represent quality.
Sweet Belize, land of the sand and sea, land of the coconut tree. I love me Sweet Belize. Sweet Belize, land of the islands and keys, land of the barrier reef. I love me Sweet Belize. If I ever had to leave Belize, if I ever had to leave Belize, where would I go? Where would I go? Where would I spread my bed? Where would I lay my head? Nobody know. Nobody know. If I ever had to leave me home, no other place I ever roam could be like Belize. Be like Belize. Sweet Belize, land of the sand and sea, land of the coconut tree. I love me Sweet Belize. Sweet Belize, land of the islands and keys, land of the barrier reef. I love me Sweet Belize. Creole and Garifuna, Mestizo and Maya, living in peace. Sweet Belize, land of the sand and sea, land of the coconut tree. I love me Sweet Belize. Sweet Belize, land of the islands and keys, land of the barrier reef. I love me Sweet Belize. If I ever had to leave Belize, if I ever had to leave Belize, where would I go? Where would I go? Where would I spread my bed?
Rise and Shine, I'm Santo Valencia, and we had a first segment talking about your health. And the way Dr. Marfield put it, says, number one is your health. He said, without health, he says, you are zero. So we need that. And now we are talk about how beauty go along with health, because you know something, if you don't got health, okay, how pretty you are, man, that like having one car will look so fancy and clean, but you got no engine in there, the engine not good, they only the smoke, it's good for nothing. So along with that, I think it was right that we have health first. And right now we were talking about the Queen of the Bay pageant, and we have with us no other than, well, actually it's Miss Chantel Magdaleno and the Miss Belmopan Ziley Wood. We want to welcome you to the show. I know you're no stranger. You've been here before, you've been on the set before, because I saw you with Miss Universe Belize in an interview. So congratulations and welcome to the show, Miss Magna.
Good morning, Belize. I am Chantel Magdaleno Petso. I am the coordinator for Queen of the Bay, Belmopan. And we're here to introduce the city of Belmopan to our delegate for this year. So she's the delegate and the Queen designate, because she's going to be officially crowned on the 10th day of September.
Wow, it's a big day also. So, Sally, you ready for that big crowning on the 10th?
Yes, sir.
I
Very excited.
I grew up on the 10th of September. Before the 21st was the 10th. And of course, we never mentioned, and I think it's important we mention that it is what, 80th?
It's 80 years of unbroken
Queen
pageant.
of the Bay.
So this is going to be the 80th National Queen of the Bay. It's going to be big day. The National Committee and the associations of past Queen of the Bay have a big lined up for this year. It's going to be a grand event, and we are going to be sending our delegate. Most years, we have been sending delegates from Belmopan, and so we're excited that Xylee is going to represent us. Xylee has been groomed for this position since she was a little girl. I kept telling her since she was young, as you turn 17, you're going up, and she's 17 now, and is going to be the youngest delegate for this year's pageant.
Really? Yes. Xylee, tell us a little bit about your venture, your journey here. How you saw yourself as a little girl growing up. You grew up here in Belmopan, of course, right?
Yes, sir. Actually, ever since I was a little girl, my mom and my aunt, they've been taking me to the pageants. So I feel like I'm very prepared, you know. I've enjoyed seeing the girls, and I've enjoyed listening about all that they're about, and I feel like it's just something that I'm meant to do in my life. You know how everybody has a purpose?
Yeah.
Well, I believe that this pageant is my calling, it's my purpose, and it's my means of showing who I am to the world and making a difference in the community.
You're 17 years young, though. You're still in high school?
Actually, no. I graduated at 16, which was last year. I'm now in my second year at St. John's College, Junior College, pursuing a law degree. And on the weekends, I also do an advanced law degree here in Belmopan at ALE Business School. I do that online, so I have the examination for that in November. So 2 schools at once, you know. I feel like I'm prepared, though. I always like keeping busy.
I agree. I think you're prepared. I mean, hey, Belize, listen. She's 17 years old, and you're talking about she knows the direction where she's going already. I'm impressed. So, what are you? You were the pageant with Miss Universe Belize the other day. You saw Bella Zavani. How did she inspire you to move forward? You looking at something like that?
Well, I definitely loved the Miss Universe pageant. All of the delegates were truly breathtaking. How Miss Isabella stood out to me, though, she embodied confidence and just beauty on a whole. Not just how she looked, but the way she spoke, the way she looked at us, and the way that she just walked all over that stage like it was hers. It was gorgeous, right? Yes, sir.
And she, as you look at her, she was well prepared and well equipped.
Yes, sir.
However, you can't take it from yourself, though. I must hand it to you, because at your age, at 17, you already graduate from high school.
Yes,
you're
sir.
already in studies in college, and you're pursuing law.
Yes, sir.
What went through your mind when you decided, I want to study law?
Okay, so first of all, I've known since I was a little girl that I wanted to study law. I feel like it's mostly because it was a dream of my mom's. So my mom is a very big inspiration to me, and watching her growing up and her interests, it just really stood out to me. And also, when I was younger, she used to love watching Law and Order, the Special Victims Unit, and I've always had a special place in my heart for victims of domestic violence. So I feel like using my voice to make a difference and to help young girls is just something that means a lot to me. So that's why I chose to venture into law.
Wow. Wonderful to hear a 17-year-old young woman and know exactly what direction they want to go. Ms. Magdalena, tell us about how you because I think it's a committee, right?
Yes. So we
selecting a candidate for Miss Belize.
So and a little explanation for the public. I know we got a lot of backlashes for the past couple of years that we didn't have a pageant because people believe in having a pageant, but there's no mandated rule in the National Queen of the Bay Committee that any constituency or any represented area in the country needs to have a pageant.
Right.
We have different options of how we can select our candidates. They can apply. We can have a call to casting, or we can have a pageant. And Xylee was set from last year. Sometimes girls come to us, sometimes we find girls. And Xylee knew that she wanted to do this. I know last year she could have gone up at 16. She would have gone up for the pageant. So we had already had our candidates, our delegates, set from last year. And so she took a year of preparation. So this isn't today. Xylee's been preparing from since last year. She's a very good delegate. She's very independent, which makes my life easier because sometimes you literally have to groom girls. Brother Fem and Jenny Lee can give you her story of how we grooms Jenny Lee into the queen, and when I see Jenny Lee walk into a room, I'm like, that's my Jenny Lee. Sometimes it's hard work. We have delegates that are easy, delegates that are hard. Xylee is an independent delegate. She does her thing, and I just make sure that whatever she's doing is Queen of the Bay standard. So it's a lot of preparation, and people don't usually know the background of what happens. It's hard and it's financially heavy to send a delegate to Belize City. It's more financially straining if you have a pageant. To have a pageant, it's about $9,000 to have a good pageant, $9,000 or more. 1 year we went almost $12,000 just to have a pageant in Belmopan. So financially, to me, it's easier for us to have a casting call or just find a delegate that we can literally train. I am the coordinator. I deal with the logistic part of the pageant. Make sure that my girls are signed up, their application fees are paid, they have their sash, their crown, the dress is approved. I have everybody in my committee who has a job. So for example, Xylee's mom has been on the committee for over 10 years with me. She is in charge of everything that has to do with speech. She's an English teacher. She is very good with the English language. So she will vet speeches, she will vet monologues, she will make sure that all the T's and the I's in the language is crossed and that. Miss Bev Hope is my trainer. So she trains Miss Bev Hope, and Audrey Shelley Tench deals with the training part of the girls. They've been dealing with Queen of the Bay for over 30 years, so I don't get involved. So Miss Bev is the courtesy guru. I can never teach the courtesy the way how Auntie Bev teaches that courtesy. So I don't get involved in that. I have some of my past queen in the name of Deandra Martinez and Ariane Novello. Ariane is a makeup artist. She deals with the makeup. I don't get involved because Xylee will look like a clown. So I don't get involved with that.
You stay in your lane.
Didi is a fashionista, so Didi can give advice on fashion and putting an outfit together. I don't deal with certain things. I deal with making sure that all the logistics for my queen is dealt with. I directly communicate with the national committee. So everybody in my committee has a task. This is not about Miss Chantel. This is about a team of people working together to accomplish a task.
Right. And of course, we're talking about whenever we have a candidate for the Queen of the Bay or for Belmopan area, because it's a group, right, from Belmopan?
Yes.
And they contest for who will represent Belmopan, I imagine, right?
Yes.
And then the Belmopanese come together and elect or select that person?
No. What they usually do in the past, because I was a past Miss Belmopan, they had a pageant. Right. And whosoever won the pageant represented Belmopan at the national level. But we have not been having pageant post-COVID.
Right.
So between 2020 and 2022, we didn't have any pageant. We had a pageant again in 2023. But 2024, we ran into the same issues that we had, so we decided not to have a pageant again. Right. So we do not have to have a pageant, but we can have a representative of Belmopan. So that's what's happening this year.
A selected, not elected.
A selected delegate. So
right.
Like I said earlier, we can either have a pageant, we can have a casting call where we bring a number of girls together and then we have them do some stuff and then we choose from that. But we didn't do that. Or we can just handpick somebody, and that's what happened this year.
And this is because this is ambassador.
Yes.
So you're representing Belmopan City.
Yes.
And so you're an ambassador. So and rightfully so, because if you listen to the level of preparation as a 17-year-old, and you're already in law school studying law and graduate from high school, I mean, you're well on your way. So you're I would say, salute, good representative, yes. Good pick, because you're not just somebody because you're beautiful, and so, but you could be a beautiful.
And the mother that Xylee has this is all her, because she has been groomed, very well raised, very well, very versed in speaking, and this is all her mother. Her mother is an English teacher. Do you expect anything else?
But yet you say she's independent, so
she's very independent, and she thinks for herself. Right? While her mother had a hand in who Xylee is, Xylee has always been, she's been around me since she was a little girl. She has always been a very independent child, and you don't have to tell her what to do. A very good student. She, like I told you, she's been prepping for this for an entire year. So what you saw on the Miss Universe, that's a whole year of preparation that she did on her own.
How you do it, because you're going to high school, and as a young woman going to high school, because there's a lot of girls out there in that high school and guys that are trying to distract you and lead you down the wrong path and making you mess up and not making right choices. How you stayed, because that's what you call it, a peer pressure from peers?
Well, actually, I've always been grounded in who I was, and I've also based things on the level of importance. So when I was in high school, my final year, I actually decided to go up for the Miss Belmopan Methodist High pageant, where I won. So I'm also Miss Belmopan Methodist 2024 to 2025. And that pageant, I feel like, seeing as Belmopan Methodist High School is such a great school, they really helped me. They helped me to grow, to learn new things, to help with my speech and how I carry myself in public. So that's how I feel like I stayed grounded, because as a queen, it's no easy task, of course. You have to be a public figure. You have to make sure that everything you're doing inspires others. So my high school really was just an amazing one, and by having that pageant, I feel like they just helped in preparing me for this one, because it's a lot of similarities.
Sure. What do you say to, because young women, again, I think I could never overemphasize the reality that you're a 17-year-old already graduate from high school. This is huge, right? I don't take this lightly. For me, I think this is like very weighty. You're big, big lady, right? What do you say to young women out there that are 17-year-old and they're in third farm and they don't even know where they're going? You ask them, what do you want to do after you graduate from fourth farm? Or what do you say to young women out there that are 17, that are 16, that are 15?
Well, I would tell them to just remain grounded in themselves, because at the end of the day, you can't be anyone else but yourself. Right. You have to be confident in yourself and maintain your social appearance, you know. No matter how much you may be pressured into doing certain things, if you don't believe in it, then you shouldn't do it. And I feel like it's always great to have a spiritual relationship, a connection with God, because at the end of the day, this is His path, this is His world, and we're just living in it. So if you try to go against Him, I don't think that you will succeed. So just remain grounded in God, remain grounded in yourself, and conquer the world. The world is yours.
Wonderful. Hey, you got my vote already, you know. You got my vote, and I could say I feel so proud of. I don't know a band Belmopanese. I don't know if it's the right way to say it, but you know the truth is I do feel like I am a Belmopanese.
You are.
Because this is who this is me, right? This is who we. This is who we place. This is who we city. And having a representative like yourself is a blessing and an honor for me to be sitting here with you. And we know that like you said, pageant costs.
It costs.
And we need a lot of support.
We need a lot of support and a lot of sponsorship, and that's why we're here today. People don't know what happened in the background, and a lot of time my committee are the ones who make sure that things happen. We go out for the love of the pageant every year. My family keep telling me, I don't know why you not left that pageant alone, why you stress out yourself, and I beg everybody in my family. I beg for a dress, I beg for a crown, I beg for a sash, I beg for $50, I beg, or I swipe my own card to get my queens ready to go to Belize City. And sometimes it's hard, times are hard and we know, but every dollar counts. So we're asking anybody who wants to sponsor, and we're also doing some events for us to continue to prep. For example, to get my delegate a good dress, we need to spend almost $1,000 to get them in that dress that makes that curtsy rock.
Right.
We need costumes, we need transportation. All of that is budgeted into the budget that we have for the Queen of the Bay. So we're having 2 events this month. We're having one on the 17th of July at Belavis Bistro. We're having an open mic and a poetry night. So we're inviting people to come and showcase their talent.
Give us that location again.
It's at Belavis Bistro. It's right on Doyle's Delight Street here in Belmopan. It's a restaurant. They're giving us the venue free. They're also one of our sponsors that have been helping us throughout the years. So we're going to have an event there. The cost is only $10 to come and see some Belizean talent for that night. Sure. And we're also planning a barbecue sale that we're scheduled for the 25th of July. Haven't set a venue yet to have the barbecue, but what we're doing right now, we have a jut farm out where we're asking the community for donations. The farm is out on the Queen of the Bay page, or you can also contact me if you want to donate anything towards the barbecue, because we don't want to spend, we want everything to be donated, so we make 100% profit. We're targeting 150 to 200 plates so that we can come up, and if you buy one barbecue, it's $10, we can come up with $2,000 to put aside for Xylee's journey to Queen of the Bay, the 80th Queen of the Bay.
What's your number, your contact number? Because you said for the barbecue, right?
Yes.
So they could call you and say, I want 5 plates of barbecue.
Yes, or if they want to donate, they come, they can tell me, I can donate 50, 30 hours. I'll put that down. So we're asking for...
5 or 10 chicken.
Exactly. So that's what we're doing so that we can have this event and that it can be successful.
Give me a number that we could contact.
My number is 615-2879.
615-2879. And you could go to that, get that number recorded, 615-2879. 2879. Get the number because we want your call and send some chicken and send some tortillas and buy some barbecue. And if you got friends young and you got only 2 on, just give the next 3 to somebody big beer.
Yes.
Good.
So we have a farm out on the Queen of the Bay page that you can go and you click on the farm, you put your name and your number, and you say we have all the list of the items that we need for the barbecue, and you can go there and say what you want to donate and how much you want to donate. No, everything is technology, so that keeps us easier for us to follow instead of everybody texting. So just go. We have somebody who is keeping notes of whatever people are going to donate, and yesterday a few people went on the farm and they donated already. So you have, today is the 4th of July.
That's right.
You have at least up to the last week in July to say that you're going to donate. I am a prayerful woman, so I always know that God provides, and people love pageant and people find money.
Yes. Prayer and action.
So I am praying and I am saying for you to give with a generous heart. You'll get your blessings will flow.
Correct. And that's for Belmopan.
And it's for Belmopan.
Because we have another guest coming, so we gotta wrap this up here. Xylee Bud. Give us a last, we got about 30 seconds.
Well, thank you for watching today, and I hope you have a wonderful day. And it was great speaking with you.
Thank you so much for coming, gracing us here, Rise and Shine, with your presence. And I wish you so much blessing for the pageant and after that. And I look forward to hearing and seeing you somehow in prominent places in this nation. And I hope a whole lot more young women like yourself will step up, rise up in this country. Hope some young men also that get this. That is very important. Thank you for coming. And I think you have your information's in, right?
And I have a shirt. So if you're interested in these shirts, we can order Team Miss Belmopan, because when we go from Belmopan, we go big and we show out, and we show up and we show out. They always afraid for Belmont Pan at every pageant.
Correct. So you could get your t-shirt at the same number, 615 2879, and get your t-shirt. Okay, it was good having you guys, and we got to get some more guests coming in, but it was so good having you guys gracing us here this morning. Don't go away. We will be right back. You're watching Rise and Shine. We have another guest coming, Shane Oreo, coming in talking about sports, football, very important also. We'll be right back.
Sweet Belize, land of the sand and sea, land of the coconut tree. I love me Sweet Belize. Sweet Belize, land of the islands and keys, land of the barrier reef. I love me Sweet Belize. If I ever had to leave Belize, if I ever had to leave Belize, where would I go? Where would I go? Where would I spread my bed? Where would I lay my head? Nobody know. Nobody know. If I ever had to leave me home, no other place I ever roam could be like Belize. Be like Belize. Sweet Belize, land of the sand and sea, land of the coconut tree. I love me Sweet Belize. Sweet Belize, land of the islands and keys, land of the barrier reef. I love me Sweet Belize. Creole and Garifuna, Mestizo and Maya, living in peace.
Hello Belmopan, welcome back to the second segment in this series of the Trade License Act 2024. I'm Councillor Chris Enriquez, and today we'll be discussing your business productive footprint and how it impacts your trade license fee. Let's break it down. Your business's productive footprint is the square footage of the area where your operations are conducted. It excludes common spaces such as agricultural lands, lobbies, restrooms, stairways, parking lots, storerooms, and shared hallways, unless they are used for profit. Your business falls under an economic classification based on your business type. This classification, as well as your zone, will further determine the rate applied to your business.
Hi, I'm Lauren Milton. I'm the Evaluation Manager here at Bonfan City Council. I know a lot of people keep wondering what we're measuring when we visit their business. So let's take a closer look at what productive footprint looks like for the different types of businesses. As you can see, we measure the area used for business purposes only. This includes retail space, dining areas, or workspaces. For example, here's how the productive footprint is calculated for a coffee shop, a supermarket, and an office space, specifically an accounting firm. Let's take a coffee shop for instance. Here we see the kitchen, the bar, and the dining areas as productive space. What's noteworthy here is that a restaurant and an ice cream parlor has similar productive space as a coffee shop. Next, we have a supermarket. For this business, we measure the entire retail floor, including aisles, checkout counters, and display areas. The storerooms and employee break areas are excluded since they are not used to generate direct sales. Lastly, we look at an accounting firm office. The productive footprint here includes the client reception, conference rooms, and workspaces where the business's services are provided. Excluded are areas like break rooms, restrooms, kitchen, and non-operational storage. As you can see, productive footprint is the usable square footage where your business is conducted. This excludes common areas like lobbies, restrooms, and parking spaces, except in cases where these areas are used for profit. Remember, productive footprint looks different for different businesses, so be sure to accurately measure your premise to ensure your fees reflect your footprint. It is important to note that Schedule 8 of the Trade Licensing Act sets fixed trade license fees for specific classifications such as traveling professionals and auto dealers.
Knowing your economic classification and accurately measuring your productive footprint isn't the only factor in your trade license process. You must also consider that there are 4 municipal zones and that your business is located in one of them. Each zone has a different guideline that will affect the rate applied to your trade license fee. As a reminder, the new Trade License Act takes effect on January 1st, 2025. Businesses without a trade license by then are subject to penalties and fees. So we encourage everyone to apply early before the deadline, December 31st, 2024. Stay tuned to our next segment where we will answer your key questions. Thank you for watching, and let's build a prosperous Belmopan together.
B-Box offers Benny's customers the opportunity to earn points on their purchases at any Benny's locations or its entities, such as Best Manufacturing, Benquip, Island Freight Forwarders, Benny's Contractor and Lumberyard, and B-Mart. To learn more, visit our website at www.bbox.bz. Remember, loyalty is always rewarding with B-Box. Brought to you by Benny's, quality and savings.
Belize City, get ready for a safe and reliable e-taxi experience like never before. Building on the success of our e-ride bus service, we've heard your feedback, Belize City. We've seen your enthusiasm and how eagerly you've embraced zero-emission transportation in our community. Introducing the e-ride taxi, an electric taxi service, bringing you a cleaner, greener way to travel around our beautiful city. As part of the transformative Belize City e-ride program, this new service is another step toward modernizing our transportation system for a sustainable future. Looking to book your first e-ride taxi? It's super easy. First, download the Medriva app and register. Then, book your ride. Insert your pickup and drop-off location. Select e-ride, choose the number of occupants, and pick your preferred payment method. Confirm your ride and track your e-ride in real time as it makes its way to you. It's fast, eco-friendly, and designed for your comfort. So don't wait. Download Medriva today and let's drive Belize City towards a brighter, greener future, one e-ride at a time. Your Belize City Council, always about the people.
Flex Home Builders is the largest house building company in Belize. Flex combines the best skilled workers, high-grade materials, and the latest technology to produce the highest quality wooden residential structures. Request any size, color, and the home layout you want. Choose from hardwood or painted metal outer walls. Flex can modify any of their existing house plans to your satisfaction, complete with all the installation services you need anywhere in the country, including ambergris key. They can also lift your house to your desired height up to 9 feet. From properly treated and cured lumber to quality sidings and floorings, let Flex Home Builders give your home the finish you need. For prices or questions, call 823-0398 or go to www.flexhomebuilders.com. Flex Home Builders, we build to suit your needs.
Every project starts with the right tools. At Builders Hardware, we got everything to get the job moving. Tools, paint, plumbing, electrical, garden, it's all here from construction start to finish. We're also offering a different kind of power tool. Order anytime, anywhere. Pick up in store or get it delivered to your home. Go to shopbuildersbz.com today and save money with our exclusive online deals. Builders Hardware, making it easier.
Sweet Belize, land of the sand and sea, land of the coconut tree. I love me sweet Belize. Sweet Belize, land of the islands and keys, land of the barrier reef. I love me sweet Belize. If I ever had to leave Belize, if I ever had to leave Belize, where would I go? Where would I go? Where would I spread my bed? Where would I lay my head? Nobody know. Nobody know. If I ever had to leave my home, no other place I ever roam could be like Belize. Be like Belize. Sweet Belize, land of the sand and sea, land of the coconut tree. I love me sweet Belize. Sweet Belize, land of the islands and keys, land of the barrier reef. I love me sweet Belize. Creole and Garifuna, Mestizo and Maya, living in peace. Sweet Belize, land of the sand and sea, land of the coconut tree. I love me sweet Belize. Sweet Belize, land of the islands and keys, land of the barrier reef. I love me sweet Belize. If I ever had to leave Belize, if I ever had to leave Belize, where would I go? Where would I go? Where would I spread my bed? Where would I lay my head? Nobody know. Nobody know. If I ever had to leave me home, no other place I ever roam could be like Belize. Be like Belize. Sweet Belize, land of the sand and sea, land of the coconut tree. I love me sweet Belize. Sweet Belize, land of the islands and keys, land of the barrier reef. I love me sweet Belize. Creole and Garifuna, Mestizo and Maya, living in peace. Sweet Belize, land of the sand and sea, land of the coconut tree. I love me sweet Belize. Sweet Belize, land of the islands and keys, land of the barrier reef. I love me sweet Belize. If I ever had to leave Belize, if I ever had to leave Belize, where would I go? Where would I go? Where would I spread my bed? Where would I lay my head? Nobody know. Nobody know. If I ever had to leave me home, no other place I ever roam could be like Belize. Be like Belize. Sweet Belize, land of the sand and sea, land of the coconut tree. I love me sweet Belize. Sweet Belize, land of the islands and keys, land of the barrier reef. I love me sweet Belize. Creole and Garifuna, Mestizo and Maya, living in peace.
Easy. Accessible. Safe. Yours. Digi Wallet. Easy, accessible, safe, yours.
I remember the first day of training very clearly, as if it was just yesterday. As I looked around the academy, it was filled with strained faces and many bald heads, whose faces expressed the same emotions that I was feeling inside. Here at the academy, all recruits are considered as one body, signifying that if one recruit misbehaved, we would all suffer consequences along with him or her. That was very frustrating at the beginning, but as the weeks went by, we familiarized ourselves with the routine of being a recruit here at the MPTA, and we learned to comply, be responsible, and most importantly, to be disciplined.
Our goal is to equip recruits not only with the skills to fight crime, but with emotional intelligence, ethical grounding, and resilience necessary to build trust and legitimacy within the communities they serve.
Every work shift is an opportunity to lead. Every criminal case is a chance to learn. Every citizen you encounter, whether a youth, a senior, or your peer, it is a chance to serve.
Looking to build or renovate? Find the inspiration you need in our showroom. First stop, the kitchen. Explore big-name appliances, all built to make life easier. From there, let the lights guide you. But what about the finer details? We've got you covered. And to bring it all together, we've got tiles for every surface.
All available online.
Builders Hardware, your home improvement warehouse.
In our world that's always changing, one thing stays the same.
Our promise
as Smart Belize to keep you connected.
Connected to the moments, the people, and the future that matter most.
With every new tower, our service upgrades, and every new smile, we're keeping our promise in building more than a network.
We're building a future, a family as Smart Belize. From Punta Gorda to Corozal, we are here not just as a network, but as your partner in progress.
We have grown significantly over the past 20 years, and we just keep growing. Thank you for placing your trust in us. We remain dedicated to providing meaningful connections that bring value in every way that matters to you. We continue to bring people together.
The hurricane season is here. Are you prepared? Get the essentials you need to stay safe this hurricane season, such as plywood, tarp.
Sweet Belize, land of the sand and sea, land of the coconut tree. I love me Sweet Belize. Sweet Belize, land of the islands and keys, land of the barrier reef. I love me Sweet Belize. If I ever had to leave Belize, if I ever had to leave Belize, where would I go? Where would I go? Where would I spread my bed? Where would I lay my head? Nobody know. Nobody know. If I ever had to leave my home, no other place I ever
Talking about the rise and shine, we had earlier talk about health, which is very important for all of us. I mean, if you're not healthy, you're good for nothing, right? And you could be a Lexus, and if your machine are good, guess what? You're barely good for look pan. And then we were talking about, we had a beautiful young woman here vying for the Queen of the Bay pageant, 80 years, the Queen of the Bay. That's something, and she's from Belmopan or Belmopan candidate, and so very smart young woman, brilliant, just, man, bless my soul to see a young woman stepping up strong like that, and young and vibrant. And now they say, let's just save the best for the last. I don't know about that, but we'll see, because we do have young men now that we will be talking to in a little bit. But first, we want to talk about somebody that is no stranger to Belize, to rise and shine, and to our region. This morning is a privilege, my brother, to have you with us, Mr. Shane Cookie, right? How do you call him, Mr. Cookie?
Yeah.
Shane Oreo Moody, right? Better known as Mr. Cookie.
Hola Galletita. In Guatemala, it was La
Galletita.
Galletita.
Yes, yeah, Lee Biscuit Cookies, because his name Oreo, right? It's a privilege to have you, my friend, and it's been a long time in football, and man, I've known you a long time. One of my favorite goalkeepers in this country. I think probably, what? You still think you're the best in the country?
Well, at this point in time, I think that ship have gone, have left harbor.
Really?
Yeah, in the sense of I'm not focusing on that aspect of it. Now I'm focusing on to some sort of extent giving back to our community. So with that, we decided a couple of years ago to start the Shinoria Football Academy, which is here in Bonpan. Deal with kids between the ages of well, as young as 4. Yeah, we have 4-year-old. Yeah, 4-year-old in the academy, to the U13 team who are back-to-back champions of the Bonpan Football Association. So with that said, it's to, apart from giving back, it's to provide an environment, yes, for the kids. And like you mentioned before, the importance and impact of sports within our community, the health benefits, the social benefits.
Sure.
And again, when we started the academy, we wanted to be different. We just didn't want to be an academy that we just throw the ball on the field and have the kids kick ball and just say play ball. It's also about the social aspect. You know, for example, this year, beginning of this year, we were involved in a countrywide cleaning campaign. 2 months ago, we were involved also in the planting initiative, plant a tree initiative from the city council. So, and the kids also were part of that initiative. So again, it's not only a football academy, but to understand it's a social obligation.
More of a holistic approach
yes,
to
a
life.
holistic approach to life, because the reality, if we look at the percentage of kids in not only our academy, but in worldwide that will get the opportunity to play professional,
right.
the percentage is a small percentage compared to the amount of kids that are actually involved in the sport.
Right.
So it's always to see how we could find ways to be have a little more initiative to see how we could engage the kids, and not only engage the kids but also engage the parenting, because parenting is important.
Sure.
I mean, for example, some of the values that we have at the academy, the main one is respect, and that's something that we drill in the kids day in and day out. It's about respect. But imagine having an academy, we drill in respect at the academy, and at home it's not being driven the same way. It's going to be difficult. So I must say kudos to those parents that are part of the academy, and thanks for believing in us, and thanks for being with us.
And you have kids from Belmopan only, or you have from Rolling Creek, or
no, we have kids. It's just my modem of apparatus is that we welcome everybody.
Yes.
It's for kids, and if we have the appropriate environment to attract the kids, you know, if you come from Belmopan, from Rolling Creek, from
wherever you
we have kids from Kamalote, from Rolling Creek. We have a female player from Cotton Tree also, you know, and we also do male and female. So it's not only a male-driven academy. And one of the hardest things is to try to get females and the parents to send their females out.
Absolutely.
And I understand their concern.
Different level, right?
It's a different level of responsibility.
Yes.
You know, it's a different level of responsibility.
That's right. And what you see, because like we said, it's real that it's building, and I emphasize especially the young men, because you have anger management where you find kids coming from homes or in environments that are very violent and always angry, you know, when they're angry for. But then when you engage with these kids, that's a part of what you do with them, instead of just training football. Because you don't move nowhere, you're still involved in football. You're still in there. But what you see for them, envisioning them, because you start at 4 years old. That's, in my opinion, you're a veteran for this. 4-year-old, those are foundational years. In the next, 15 years?
15 years. But again, the academy, how we have it set up is that we have U7, U9, U11, and U13. So every 2 years we'll be opening a higher level. So next year we'll be having a U15. But then the U7 feeds into the U9, the U9 feeds into the U11, the U11 feed into the U13. And I mean, for example, you talk about, apart from being progressive in that aspect, you spoke about something very important. Our young people now in this age and stage, they don't have something, in my eyes, that is called conflict resolution. Our kids, they tend to react without thinking. For example, we had this sad case of that situation in Keycorker that occurred, that a young man, I think the age of 19 or 21, lost his life. And I believe if we teach our kids more conflict resolution and situations like that, I believe things like that could be able could be helped in the future, and hopefully it doesn't come to Belmopan. In Belmopan, we have had our share of situations also, so it's to see how we could help the younger generation. And with that said, I want to salute my other colleagues also in Belmopan that have football academies and football teams, because it's not only about my academy, it's not about our players, it's about Belmopan itself, how we can make Belmopan a safer place. Because if Belmopan is a safer place, then I, as a citizen of Belmopan, someone that lives here in Belmopan, will reap that benefit, and our parents, our kids will be able to reap that benefit.
And we have a lot of different coaches indeed around Belmopan still that are running football, and hopefully that we could instill those kinds of values in them while you're running football. it's not just to win or to lose. It's a developing at young men. And then we have our guests. We have a young men from your academy, because this is Shane Orio's. And if we have our technician could give one a quick glimpse, a view of that Shane Orio Academy. You have because you're looking at establishing yourself. It's the same as what's on your shirt right there. It's a beautiful thing, but it's an actual academy that you are running here, and rightfully so. That I think nobody in this country could dispute that. I be number one to say, man, thanks for doing this, because somebody like yourself that have been there in football, understanding not just winning football, but developing young men into this. And we want to get our technician see to find that logo. We want to shoot what it says about his academy. But we have this young guys right here. Let's hear from these young guys and introduce yourself. Tell who you are as a part of this academy.
Good morning. My name is Kimani Guzman. I play defense for the academy, and yeah, I come from Kamalote village.
Good morning. My name is Jalen Guzman. I am 13 years old. I play midfield for the academy, and I'm from Kamalote village.
Wow.
Good morning. My name is Kristan Makala, and I'm 11 years old, and I play left wing for the academy, and I come from Belmopan.
Correct.
My name is Philip. I play midfield, and I come from Belmopan.
Man, we have two midfielders from Belmopan. And you're from Kamalote, and you're a midfielder as well? Wow. And you play defense. Boy, you're a bad man, right? You have to protect the goal, right? And tell me what you like about the academy.
I like the academy because you get to have fun and play football.
But you go to school, what grade you in?
I standard 3.
Whoa.
I like the academy because we get to play football and we learn life lessons and learn teamwork.
I like the academy because they play with teamwork, not just selfishness.
Teamwork. So your coach teach you teamwork? Yeah. How you do that? Tell me how you teach your teamwork?
They help us communicate a lot, like in pairs, and work together with our passes and
That's
other
right. Communicate is very important, right? You know, what's your name again? Kimani. Because he says something very important. When you talk about communication as a team, what is he saying? You understand what he's saying?
Like, say, people sometimes they just do what they want, so you have to communicate to them and tell them, like, if they say that they're doing a bad, somebody bully they like on the team, you bring them up and tell them what is a good thing and not listen to that.
That's right. And you talk about issues, right?
Yes.
You know, reel up with your partner, and you play league game and so in league competitions and so.
Yes, sir.
And then in time your body in time he start to mess up if he missed the ball or whatever way you do it, you reel up with that.
I don't reel up with that. I just tell her next time I'll get it.
Yeah, try again.
Yes.
Because that's a part of communication, learning how to out on the field, how to communicate, how to talk with each other, right? And you
Yes,
got
sir.
a school too, right?
Yes, sir.
Where grade you in?
I don't graduate. I go first farm, sir.
You going to first farm? Are you 11?
12.
12?
I turn 13 November.
Are you you're going to first farm?
Yes, sir.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what, I'm proud of you, man. Just now we had a young woman here, was 17, I done in a college, the study and everything, and she run for she Miss Belmopan, and they go for Queen of the Bay. And you are doing well as a young man, because you're 12 years old and you look to go to high school, man. I want to salute you. Stay with it, stay strong. Remember the things where your coach teach you, man.
Yes,
What your vision, what your plan, the way you say in a football, what do you think about?
Sir, in a football, I would want to go to the national team.
You want to be a national team player?
Yes.
Well, who the one your favorite national team player? You have one, or who the one
Sir,
your
have to be
inspiration?
Keshawn Lopez, sir. To me,
Keshawn
the best
Lopez.
on the team.
All right. And how are you?
Same thing, sir. Keshawn Lopez.
Yeah.
Same thing, sir. Keshawn Lopez.
What? Look at.
Same thing.
And who are the best goalie where you know? Who are the best goalie?
Shane O'Reilly.
Thank you guys so much for coming and the academy is going and you'll have one summer drive as well, right? Tell us a little bit.
Mention Jalen situation. Not only Jalen, we have Jalen, Jaden, Godfrey, and the small one. Card, the other card. Garin Card. 4 of these players that are part of the academy, they are back-to-back champion with Kamalote Primary School at the primary school level. Yes, so the idea of what we're doing and what we're working is for me, those are indicators to see that, listen to me, we were able to, I don't want to say 100% produce, but we were able to assist these kids on the way that when they played at a national level, they were ready, and apart not only being ready, but they were able to perform.
Yes.
And we, like you mentioned, we need to start, number one, I believe Belize is at a disadvantage. We need to start earlier, especially at the development age.
Yes.
Presently, as we speak, there's a U13 tournament going on in Santo Domingo, and you have the best U13 kids from this part of the world, North, Central, and the Caribbean, playing in Santo Domingo. Sad to say that we don't have any Belizean team representing at the academy level out there at the moment. Wow. But then I believe that is a disadvantage we're at, because these U13 kids from these countries have that experience under their belt. So when the kids reach U15, the level of competition is already at a high level, because they're already used to training, and not only training, but playing U13 competition against the best of the best.
That's right. And right now we have we got a few minutes.
Okay.
A few minutes left. But we want to talk about, because you're supposed to be running something special this summer, right?
We have our annual academy summer camp that will be running starting Monday.
Right.
3:30 p.m. at Devon Beaton. That's behind the old Atlantic Bank field. From 3:30 to 5:30. We say 5:30, but we usually
3:30 to 5:30.
2 hours.
2 hours,
From Monday to Friday. It's a 2 weeks youth program that, again, we invite people from the police department, from social security to come in and have a chat with the kids.
And what age group is this?
Again, from
From
4 to 13.
Okay, very good.
And the other part of this is that what we're having is that we're having an opportunity for 4 players from our U13 that will be going to Costa Rica at the end of this month.
Wow.
To have a 2 weeks training period in Costa Rica, in Punta Arenas. And with that said, I'd like to thank our sponsors, Santander, Sugar Group, who is our main sponsors, have been with us from the beginning, Mr. McLean Insurance and Brokerage Solution, and also Mr. Ian Anderson from Cave Brands, who is our main sponsors for the academy. So without them, it would have been impossible. So we'd like to thank them, thank the parents, and thank you guys for having us here today.
Yeah, it's a privilege having you, and I'm glad to see you doing something. And every time I pass, I see you out there and I go, bye. I personally feel good for seeing somebody like yourself giving back.
Yes, stop out. Stop out. The notion also is that we not try force any of the kids to stay with us, but if this is an open invitation to parents in Bahapan and surrounding, and even if you're from Kai, or for example at our summer camp next week, we'll be having a couple of kids coming from Belize City just to get the experience. So come in, join us, be with us, and with no obligation. If your kid don't like the environment, if you don't like the environment as a parent that we're providing, that's understandable. You know. But have your child come in and see if because again, like I say, we have been doing the same for the past 20 years and we haven't reached anywhere. So it's time to see if we could do something different. In the future, what we're planning to do is that our academy At some point in time, we're looking at taking the entire U13 or U14 to one of these tournaments in Miami or in the Caribbean. So that's our goal.
Very good. I have to come in and check by you because that's the heart right there, right? Don't give their boys the last word before we wrap up because we're around the time. And we got to have this man come back again. You come back, and you guys have to come back, right? Give us the last word. You shout out anybody out there, your parents, some of your friends quickly. Who you want to shout out?
My friend Nazir.
All right. And then you look right there, you look over there at the camera and shout out your friend. Get next.
I would like to shout out Gabrielle.
All right.
I would like to shout out my mom.
Sure. Correction.
I would like to shout out my mom as well.
Well, thank you guys for coming and being here and gracing us, and hopefully you go far and hopefully you become some national team players. You're the right guy here. And Shane, thank you so much, man. You have a final word that you need to plug in quickly for you?
Well, final word would be thanks to all our sponsors, our parents, because without the parents we wouldn't be able to do this. And
date one more time for the thing.
Date at the academy, we're starting this Monday coming, from 3:30 to 5:30. We say 5:30, but again, as a coach, it's very difficult to tell the kids come off of the field. So, but sometimes it gets pushed to a little bit to 6. Yeah. Because I mean, I tell the parents, listen to me. If you guys need to go, you could get your kid and you could go. Yeah. But at some point in time, I don't want the kids then say, oh, coach, take me off of the field.
That's right. It's right there on the screen. Yeah. Thank you so much for we got to talk football more. We I don't get the man an invitation. We can come back. We can talk football. We got a lot to discuss.
We're on Facebook to Shane O'Reilly Football Academy. We're on Facebook, they can reach you.
Thank you all for joining us this morning, and all our guests this morning, and our viewers or listeners. Thanks to our technicians on duty, Mr. Jones, and we have who that we are the technicians. Mr. Briseño is our technician. Thank you guys, and I hope you have a very blessed weekend. Take care of yourself. Your family needs you. Your wife, your children, your parents, your friends need you. Look after yourself. Not the craziness, but the motorcycle, man.
Yeah.
Live, man. Value your life and live. Not ride like crazy. Respect other traffic. Respect the flow of traffic. Respect yourself. From all of us here at Rise and Shine and PlusTV, have a great weekend. God bless you. We're out of here.
Sweet Belize, land of the sand and sea, land of Sweet Belize, land of the sand and sea, land of the coconut tree. I love me Sweet Belize, Sweet Belize, land of the islands and keys, land of the barrier reef. I love me Sweet Belize. If I ever had to leave Belize, if I ever had to